Yo, JD here, Tulimus, and as you can see here today, we're going to be talking about the F1 2016 Silverstone Grand Prix, which I was there actually on the Friday of this year. Got a chance to meet a few of you guys, which was really humbling to see because I've recently just hit 10,000 subscribers as well, which I did hit on the Friday. So before I start this video, I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who is subscribed to me, who likes my videos, who watches them, comments on them. It's mind blowing that I never thought in a million years that I would ever be able to hit that kind of number. I know for some people that may be a lot or may not be a lot, but for me, that's the target I've been reaching for quite a while now, and to actually finally hit that target, it's I'm pretty much lost for words, really. So thank you so much for that. I'll be doing a separate video on the 10,000 subscribers. So I'll be doing a special video, maybe a house tour or something else as well. But for this video here today, we're going to be talking about how I feel about the Grand Prix this weekend, just my general thoughts, and then I just want to hear your guys' opinions that you did in the last week's video when I did this. So that was really good to see. For me, Hamilton being on pole position, it wasn't really too much of a surprise because the pace he's just had throughout the whole weekend in the practice sessions and everything. That was no real surprise. What was a surprise is the safety car having to be intervened for the start of the race, being put under a safety car. I thought that was a little bit unnecessary. I understand they made the decision like 10 minutes before the race, but why can't they just change the decision like a couple minutes before the race? And that's just a bit disappointing because I feel F1 should be trying to be the more exciting than what it actually is. So that could have really spiced it up at the start, because with a flying start, the chances of losing positions are really reduced compared to what would have been from actual standing start. So that was disappointing. But once the race got underway, it wasn't a great race for me, in my opinion. Hamilton really led from the start. He controlled the race. He made the gap when he needed to do. Nico Rosberg in the first stages of the race, I'm not sure if he struggles in wet conditions, or I don't know what it was, if it's setup or anything, or just the lack of confidence when he's racing in the wet and the conditions. He was just so far off the pace compared to Hamilton. I know Hamilton is brilliant in the wet, but Rosberg, he's no slouch. He's a top quality driver. I was expecting him to be a little bit better than what he was in those conditions. So that gave Hamilton the gap, and then from there, really, he just managed his tyres to the end of the race, really making sure no one really came within 3 to 4 seconds of him. So pretty smart driving for him, and he definitely did deserve the win here today. He drove super consistent and just did everything he needed to do. Verstappen, for me, was so impressive today. Now, I've been a bit skeptical of him from when he first joined in F1, because I was one of the guys I thought he was too young as well, from seeing him in karting and stuff. He didn't really have that much single-seat experience, but what he's done so far is really impressive. And for me, if Kvyat was in that position, would he have done the same? Would he have out-qualified Ricciardo around there? Would he have been able to do that and fight with Rosberg and do the move around through Maggots and Beckett's? That's the thing I asked myself, and the answer is no. I don't think Kvyat could do that, and Verstappen, he's really impressing me, and I really want to see Red Bull hopefully on par with Mercedes next year, because that'll be an amazing contest to see. With Rosberg and the team radio at the end, I believe he's actually got a penalty now, so he's gone from P2 to P3 now. With the radio, I just don't know really what to think. For me, my opinion, I want the drivers to have as much control as possible. I don't want the team really to interfere at all. I feel it should really be the drivers who are making the main decisions. And I understand the team, obviously, that they want to help and stuff like that, and it's been part of F1 for a long time. I feel the penalty is quite harsh what he had, because that was nothing to do with him. That was through no fault of his own or anything at all. And the engineers said that to him. He came over the radio and did that, which gave him the penalty for it. So I think the rules definitely need to be changed there slightly. But for me, I just want the driver to be in as much control as possible. I want them to be calling the shots and everything. And with team orders, I hate team orders and stuff as well. But I just want to hear what you guys think of that. With Vettel today and Ferrari, no words really. Ferrari this year were looking so hyped to come into this season. In my opinion, I think they're further behind than they were last year. To be honest, I thought they were a lot closer in races last year than were this year. And Raikkonen's P3 in the championship, which is phenomenal as well. And Vettel has just been horrifically unlucky today. And I believe he actually got a penalty as well from basically spinning out onto the grass or spinning out off the track and coming back on it. And he actually got a penalty from that, from what I know of, from reading on Twitter. So the race here today, not really too much to talk about. The main highlight being Verstappen just being, very, very impressive for his driving. Disappointed from Rosberg for how he drove, because I felt he could have done better than what he did. I feel he could have got a lot closer to Hamilton, if he did some certain things at the start of the race. And Hamilton, all I can do is praise him. He was consistent throughout the whole race, managed his tyres, did everything he needed to do. So I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. For me, with the championship situation, I feel Hamilton's going to win it now. I just feel he's got that edge, and as much as I'm not actually a Hamilton fan, he is the better driver than Rosberg, and I feel he's going to go on to win this championship probably quite comfortably in the end, because Rosberg, for me, he may be a top quality at times, but he just doesn't have that killer instinct. He just doesn't have, he's shown it at times, but he just doesn't have that X factor to him to actually be a world champion, in my opinion, which is really, really depressing to say, because I would have loved to have seen him be that. And for the start of the season, he was looking so good, but it just looks like once he's knocked off his pedestal a little bit, knocked off the top, he struggles to really just cope with that pressure. And I felt a bit sorry for him today with the booing as well. I think that was just a little bit unnecessary. But in terms of the championship, I think it is going to be Hamilton's. I just can't really see Rosberg doing it, which is, as I said, it's something I don't really want to be saying. But I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you feel he's washed up in this championship? Do you feel he's the right guy for Mercedes next season? Or what do you think of Verstappen? Those thoughts as well. Ricciardo had a pretty average race. Not very much he could have done in that situation, but there we go. So there's the thoughts of my race here today. Not really too many, because it wasn't really that exciting in my opinion. So I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you so much for the support recently on the channel once again. Next video will probably be a race against pole or live comp video, or maybe the 10K video will probably be the next one. So as always, thanks for watching and catch you next time. Cheers.